Problem 2.2. We are in millimeters, grams, and seconds. Origin is at the center of the part and center, so we're going to introduce a new in condition. Let's see, fully defined, lines, center lines, circles, sketch fillets. I think this time we will go with sketch fillets, that everything is in there. Some of those we may just drive as tangents, or depends on how easy it is to go into the sketch based on our geometry, and then extruded boss and extruded cuts. We've already done the offset tool, so since this has the lip around it, we'll use the offset. We have 12 degrees, radius of 5 going into radius of 2. Some of these, let's see, where is that one lined up? So radius of 5. Oh, I'm just gonna see if there was, nope, that was pretty much it. I was gonna see if there was a center mark, so it's got to be tangent to tangent. All right, so we're gonna start with the circle, do the arcs, generate the lines around. I don't know that having a scaffold or construction geometry is really going to help me here. So I guess I need to move that out of the way. All right, so I did in the assignment, I rearranged my folder a little bit. So we're going to start doing the level folders. And so if I do the recents, all of my recents are probably cleared out because I shifted those files around. All right, from the isometric view though, since this is direction, this is the top view, this would be the front view. It's kind of hard to tell with the blue, but not sure why they're showing a red like they're in the sketch, but I'm going to go with the top plane as my sketch plane. All right, so we highlight, and again, if you prefer to do the sketch, open up the sketch and have it select. Well, I already selected the plane, so it jumped right into it. But if it shows you the preview, where when you hit sketch, it's going to just be click on the top plane, and then we're ready to go. All right, so our circle then is 9.5. And I'm going to draw a little bit more in the way of the geometry. So a center point arc can come out, and this is one of those instances where I started off that way. I'm just going to go back, or I keep going round and round until it gives me what I want, and I get those two arcs in the geometry. So at this point, I'm not worried about the lip, the offset, and I don't know that there's any advantage to really worrying about reusing, sharing sketches on that one. It may, when we get there, we'll take a look at just possibly having the two sketches. So, oh, the radius was 9.5. Which one was that? Oh, 18. So let's go back here, and the diameter 9.5. So the width became 18. If we want to leave that, well, let's go to 9, which will help it out there. And we'll bring out the two lines. All right, and then come down a little ways. And I'm going to go slightly different in that I want to apply the relations and get these a little more fully defined before the geometry gets a little too crazy. So the overall is 101. All right, and that presents a little bit of a problem with our geometry. So let me just escape. I'll get out of the line command. We're horizontal and horizontal, so those worked, but I'm not tangent. All right, so tangency, we'll hold down the control button, select the line in addition, and set tangency. So select no tangency over in the existing relations, hold down the control button and select, let go of the control button, and we can go tangent. All right, so there's this weird little thing called a max-min condition on arcs. And we'll introduce the reason, I think I mentioned it before, but the reason you mostly want to go to perimeters of arcs is so that you can utilize that max-min condition. So it automatically goes to the center. We place our dimension. I don't really care what that value is right now, but we can go over to the leaders and scroll down, and this is going to be a max. That's going to take me to the farthest point on the arc. If it was skewed slightly or I was off at an angle, I would still be able to pick up kind of that extension line tangent to the arc. So now I'll go back and say that I want that to be 101. Okay, so this will be a sketch fillet, and I'm not going to worry about the sketch fillets until I'm done because I think this is going to become just tangent arc to line to tangent arc, and then wherever that becomes tangent, tangent. Since we're not given an actual dimension to that location, there's not a lot to do with it. So we're going to go tangent arc and find the endpoint and drag a little bit that way. And then I'm left click, hold down, so I'm doing the click drag. And we'll go, let's go back that way just a little bit. And I'm going to hit escape, and then I'm going to take the shortcut going to L on the keyboard to put line, but we can always go up to our icon. Now that one's will show me tangent, and it's a trade-off. Do I want something that's closer, or do I want something that automatically goes tangent? Well, in this case I want the tangent because I can drag that up pretty easily. And then we need to go back into the tangent arc, and this one will kind of go that way, and then we're going to come back and go that way. All right, so let's take a moment and look at why this isn't tangent. So there's a change of direction. Each one of these, if I set my pencil down, I have a smooth transition going through each of those pieces of geometry until I get here, and then I have a change of direction. So when I change this over to tangent, so again, highlight the first item, hold down the control button, highlight the second line, second arc or object, I can go to make tangent, and now that becomes smooth. It pulled it up a little bit further than I would have liked, but we can grab one of the endpoints, one of our objects, and we're going to, let's just say, massage that into place. All right, so if I highlight that, I see tangent, tangent, that line has those tangencies, the arcs have the tangencies, tangent, 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 tangent. It's a real quick check, worthwhile, that it's not going to move strangely, that it will hopefully cooperate when I put the rest of the dimensions on it. All right, so dimension, select, place 2.5, and then we're going to go to radius of 5, and then radius of 5 could make those equal, but we don't know. I think at this point I'm thinking we'll go with those. All right, and then it still able to move, so we have a 12 degree between the flat and the angle. And let's see where that pulls that in. All right, so assumption time. Let's see how much trouble I can get into here. We have the 12 degree coming off. It looks like that center and that center on the same line, since I don't have anything else really to work with. I think I'm going to have to go with that. I'm not sure what extension line, and it does look like there's a little bit of a gap there that concerns me, other than it being, you know, possibly a center to that point. There's really not enough information there to make me super confident. So if I went from the end point of that arc over I think that little bit of separation there is a guesstimate. So let's go to select the endpoint, hold down the control button. Well, I got the dimension, so let's make sure I get the center point of the arc, get the endpoint. So select, control select, make those horizontal. And what else can move? We're at that, 22.5. So I don't want to forget and overlook radius 5 and 22.5 between the centers. Okay, so we're going to go with that arc and that arc, 22.5, and that pulled back that way. So other than the height and this being able to move, all right, I may have to pause so I can analyze this a little bit because the 4 doesn't play a part in it. That doesn't play a part in it. Unless that one is also horizontal. Let's see if it overdefines. No, that caused it to go fully defined. So given that I don't have enough other information, I'm going to go with that those are all in the same line. Whatever's going on with the extension line or the graphics, that little bit of separation, nothing I can do about that because there just aren't enough numbers for me to feel really confident. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go into the sketch fillet, and we're going to do the sketch fillet at a radius of 4. And when we apply the fillet, we're going to pick the vertex. If there wasn't an actual vertex there where the lines intersect, we could go line 1, line 2, and it would calculate in between. It's just going to be easier to pick the vertex. And my mouse button, or my icon, shows up with the mouse button that says if I right click, it will go ahead and apply and be done. Okay, so that's definitely interesting geometry. I still have my concerns, but we're going to go with it. And because this origin is shown in the middle of the part, we have an end condition called midplane. And when we go into the features and tell it to extrude, we're going to see that midplane at the very bottom, and it's going to give us an overall of 11. Okay. All right, we're in the home stretch. We go ahead and open up a sketch. Now, the center, we don't want to offset. So I don't really want to offset on the face. If I have the face selected, it may bark at me for having the not connected entity. So if we go offset 1 millimeter and I have the line, we're going to reverse the direction, and it is not letting me select the chain, so that's interesting. I'm not sure what I got there, but let's go ahead and X out of it. And I'm going to right click and select tangency so the whole thing highlights. And then I'm going to try again, 1 millimeter, reverse the offset. Everything's on the inside. The hole doesn't really matter because I'm not going to fill it in by doing a boss extrude. The cut extrude, our extruded cut, will go 1 millimeter deep. And we have that side. Rotating over, middle mouse wheel, hold down, move it around a little bit till you get it somewhere you like. We're going to go in with the sketch again, right click. The difference between tangency and loop. So I'm going to just rotate over just a little bit more. And when I select loop, the loops can be perpendicular, and we need to swap the arrows. So now you can see it's kind of dot, dot, dot around, and offset and reverse. So loop basically does the same thing. It's just, at times we may want to have that geometry going the opposite way. And then we can go ahead and accept. We have the offset. We're back into the extrude cut. 1 millimeter depth looks good. We'll go ahead and accept it. Control 7 looks like the picture, so Control 7 is our isometric. It looks like the picture, and we're looking for our value, which is 13,031. So let's see how close I got this time. Let's go ahead and save this. Problem 2-2, and enter. Evaluate mass properties. Fly that screen over there. 13,235. So 031 versus 235. Well, we'll take it. All right, so if we get better information, go back through the geometry, try and determine which one. Again, the mid plane. Let's take a look at that real quick before I finish. Going mid plane and isometric, the geometry. I'm trying to see if the isometric view had a better, but it's not really going to affect our volume. But the center of mass would change if I wasn't exactly in the right location. But again, going from the front plane to the top plane, the x and z values would probably shift for the center of mass. All right, we'll finish this one up here.